could be wiser as an educated advisor. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and money color commentator. On today's show, the presentation, part 3 in our series on the 5-step process of successful recruiting with Bob Lochard, Chief Marketing Officer of Gordon Marketing. So let's get down to business. Welcome to the third segment, Bob.
Thank you.
Well, we're talking about the presentation, and boy, I tell you what, this is, sometimes when you say this is your wheelhouse, it also, your forte can also be your weakness, right? Mm-hmm. So when we think about being simple, you want to dot your I's, you want to be compliant, you want it to be entertaining, you want your graphics to really shine. But bottom line, the theory of 21st century marketing is less is more. Keep it simple.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about when you're constructing a live show. You're going to be we're going to be sharing the same stage coming up in March. Talk a little bit about how you prep your presentation and your messaging.
Okay. Well, first I'll go back through the first 2 steps. One is I have identified a prospect. We've got in touch with one another when I'm talking recruiting here, either by way of show, seminar, webinar, whatever. But I have that contact. And now I've determined through questions, interview, whatever you want to do, that I believe you are a good prospect, that you would fit, that I'll fit in your organization, you'll fit in mine. We have some value we can offer one another. So I want to go to the next step now. And so my preparation in that is, number one, always know within a degree of certainty, what am I going to go to next? So what is my presentation? What is my product? What am I selling? And recruiting is selling. And so I want to keep it simple, get to the point. Through that Q&A up front on step 2, I determined that you and I could do business, and maybe it's with XYZ carrier, but I've identified that. You aren't really interested in knowing everything I know. So you appreciate me getting to the point too. Keep it simple. So on my value prop, first thing they want to know is, why should I come to work with Gordon Marketing? Why should I move my contracts to you? So I'm going to cover that in this part. Before I go anywhere else, before I talk about compensation and levels and leads and all of those kind of things, I want to talk about why we're different. Are we different? And we are different. We're different in a lot of ways, or I wouldn't be here. And working with Gordon Marketing, we've known each other since 1997. We're different. We're a family-run company. We like to act like family. We like to treat people we work with like family. And like families, we make mistakes. And so we're going to move on and apologize. But I want to keep it simple. I want to talk about, first and foremost, what are you going to get out of this relationship? And I would tell you, first thing is open, honest. Our books are open. We have nothing to hide. And so once we go past that, now I'm going to move to why we were on the phone. Maybe I was pushing XYZ carrier, or we have an upcoming seminar, whatever it is. That's my topic. I'm going to keep it simple, get right to it on why I even called you. And so I'm going to keep that, and I'm only going to push 1 or 2 ideas. I'm not going to try to push 37 years of Gordon Marketing and hundreds of contracts. All it's going to do is confuse you and leave you with questions, and we won't be able to go anywhere.
So your value proposition, but that messaging is pretty tight, right? I
mean, it is.
It's not a loose, generic idea.
It has to be
You
tight.
know what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Okay, I noticed, because we are vendors. We have so many carriers and so many product lines, and you want to look big, and you want to say, I can do it all, but when you're on a phone conversation of recruiting, I need to cherry pick a couple of really good carriers and a couple of products and stay there.
If I don't, it's information overload. And all I'm going to do is cause you to have to think about it. The worst thing we like to hear, the one thing we never like to hear in sales or recruiting, well, I'd like to think about it. I want to close. And so I want to set my presentation up that I can close. And closing is getting your contract, getting your business. We want to do business together. And so I need to structure my conversation that we can do business together. So, Steve, is there anything that would prevent us from doing business today to set myself up to move forward?
And when you frame it the way you've just said that, do you find a lot more success? Is this part of your formula now?
Absolutely. And I have found that those that I want to do business with appreciate the simplicity, the openness, the direct communications, and close. They don't have time. They don't want to be on the phone 3 hours. They want me to get to the point. What do you offer? What can you offer back? Set the level of expectation both ways, and then move on from there. They expect it. They want it. I expect the same thing.
You said a couple things that I want to follow up on, just because it's a little off our normal speak. But I really want to. You said, well, we have distinctiveness, we have some uniqueness, some differentiators. Okay, when you think of something in your mind, you discovered it. That was distinctive. Now I have to message around it. Now I have to learn how to present it. How do I know that? How do you know as a marketer that is distinct? I've been around the block. I've talked to many other organizations. This is distinctive.
Yeah, well, I would tell you, one, we do agency builder workshops all across the United States, and unlike some of our competitors, they would probably laugh at us, by the way, and say we're foolish, but we don't put a prerequisite on it that you have to have your contracts with us before you attend the workshop. We go into the workshop with an open relationship. We may or may not ever do business together. We're going to give you some of our secret sauce and talk about our value prop in hopes that you decide to do business together. But if you don't, it's just another relationship that we build. And so we have an open relationship. We don't expect you to do anything for us until we earn it. We send our marketers out into the field. They go old school, and they go out and they meet the people we do business with all across the country. Every day in our organization where we're different, our marketers are people that support our agents. We start off the day with one of the things that we probably don't like, the old death by meeting. But we start off the day every morning at 9 o'clock with an hour training session. And we have people that's been with us 20 plus years that still every day get an hour of training in our marketplace. So we stay fresh up on the subject. Our marketers are very well trained, and they're trained that we're self-employed. Because if I don't earn your business, I don't make any money. If I don't make any money, I'm not happy. So.
When you talk about secret sauce, a lot of people are close to the vest of their proprietary items. You are a lot more open about it. There's really, in our industry, I have found that our military intelligence, or whatever we think our marketing area is, it's fleeting, right? So whatever I think is really cool, cute and cool, and I'm the first to bring it to the table, it's going to get just knocked off like there's no tomorrow. So it sounds like you've kind of forgotten. You said, I'm going to forget the proprietization of this. I'm just going to go ahead. Here's what we're doing. Here's how we do it. Oh, and here's our secret sauce that makes it distinctive.
Yeah, absolutely. There is nothing new in this industry. We've all borrowed, taken, used. Throughout my presentation, even listening today, I think of some of my statements, and immediately it runs back to a mentor or a friend or somebody in this business that we borrowed from one another. So why try to keep it secret? It's not secret. We all know what we do.
Now, I want to give you, usually I try to stay away from these things in an interview, but if you had to think of one distinctive thing as a marketeer, and you've been a marketer in our business for a long time, give me one thing that you think is a little on the unique side when you ask for a part of your value proposition.
Well, I mean, this may seem like it should be, but we're open. Our books are open. We have no secrets.
So you're opening up the compensation package issue?
We'll open up the comp. We have nothing to hide.
Your numbers, our numbers.
My numbers, your numbers. We post them. You can look at them. We'll share them with you. If you want to see the comp statement, we have no problem with that. We believe that we're better and that we're stronger by having nothing hidden. We don't hide anything. If someone thinks they had the wrong compensation, maybe they did. We're going to go back in and look and see if it was set up properly. But we have nothing. We have nothing to hide.
So when we're doing presentations and you're coming, one of your big hallmarks is being open, especially about the compensation up and down the food chain.
Absolutely.
That's great. Well, listen, don't forget to watch our next segment on The Close, part 4 of our series on 5-step process for successful recruiting. And keep in mind, before moving forward with any of the ideas on our show, always check with your tax consultant, legal counsel, or your compliance officer. And don't forget to subscribe to my consumer show, Steve Savant's Money, the name of the game, where you can post daily content on your website, social media accounts, and database marketing. I'm Steve Savant. Thanks for watching.